So, as you may have heard earlier, my name is Michael Schulenberg. I own and operate MHS by Design, and we offer architectural design management and project management. I said earlier that I was going to talk about the design process, and the key, sorry Jeff, the key thing that I want to display to you this morning is the design process will be followed with or without planning. A lot of times we encounter clients that come to me kind of the last minute. I'm the necessary evil to get their building permit. And then what happens is the design process follows throughout construction, ongoing, one after another. First the framer, then the roofer. They all need these decisions made on the fly, and it just carries on right to the closing. And that's what I mean by it's going to happen, whether you like it or not. If you plan ahead, it'll be much easier. So we offer 4 different programs. Basically, drafting to permit. If you've got a very easy plan that needs to be, you just need to draw it out and get it official so that you get a permit, we offer that service. Number 2, we have a full design review and help you through the permit process. We'll even apply the permit. And number 3, the full design and permit service plus consulting. So I will do some consulting with your sub-trades and with your clients on the go as the construction falls through. I can be called in. And number 4, we offer the full package, which is obviously a full design service, the permit process, on-site review, project management, and budgeting and scheduling. And with our 25 years of construction experience, this comes in very valuable because we're well networked in the area. See if I can get this to flip. So, the firm, the design firm. So our qualifications, we are a registered BCIN firm with the Municipal Affairs and Housing. So basically on the table over there you have the building code. I'm qualified to use the building code in application of construction. So I'm not an architect who works outside of the code. Basically they develop designs that have to be calculated on an ongoing basis, and it's kind of an outside of the box, it's larger than life type thing. Everything up to 6,400 square feet and 3 stories high is inside of that book, and I'm able to apply that to designs on the go. Our experience is 10 years in computer automated design and 25 years in building. We used SoftPlan 2016, which is the leading edge program in 3-dimensional software. So as I mentioned before, it's not just a 2-dimensional drawing that you're looking at, like that's sitting on your table there. We can actually bring it to life in full animation. And I have a YouTube channel that I share the 3D models on with the clients so they can see actually in full perspective view what it's going to be like before we start. Our skills also include, I'm a licensed master carpenter, so that helps in discussing with the people on the construction side. I know the same language. I know where they're coming from, how it needs to be built. So during the design process, I often think about how is it going to be built, and therefore it's not just a piece of paper that works on paper. It's actually a product that can be built, and it's often you save money in the end. So our passion in the design firm, of course, is design efficiency. So a lot of people talk about efficiency, they're thinking about saving money on their heat and hydro. Yes, that's very important when we're talking about design. But the flow, how the customers come in and out of your office, Dr. Brett, that's very important, right? That's something that we discussed during the design process. Also, how the lighting comes in. Like if it's a classroom, or if it's your reading space in your house, or are you an early riser? So we make sure that we have an eastern viewpoint from your kitchen. Those things are important when you're talking about design. And we like to have a clear process. That's what I'm sharing with you this morning, that there's actually a defined method to the design. It's not just an idea pie in the sky. We actually have a beginning and an end to our process. We also have a passion for artistic expression, so that your building, your project is noticed from the street. people remember it. It's something that you enjoy to come home to. Enriching spaces, so yeah, that den in the evening after a hard day's work, it's welcoming, it has a fire in the corner. Things like that can be thought out ahead of time, planned. And of course, real world results. By that, real world results, I mean, I was a carpenter, I swung a hammer. I've seen drawings that just can't be built, and you have to figure it out on the fly. So somehow, some way, I try to bring that idea to a place that can be done. And also our passion is teamwork. Every team is built on trust, and nothing makes us more happy when we bring the client and the builder together, and they both trust each other, and they can do the job well. When you get that circle where he said, she said, they call me up and said the client said this, and then I call the client, and then the client calls the builder, that's not a very good circle. It's much better to have a team effort, and that's what I like to endeavor and try to build as a consultant. That's where, that's really the consultant's job, is to get the two people to work together. So on our business card, you'll see define, discover, and design. And that is the three-step process to the final product of the design. Number one, define. So when we meet or get a phone call, we try to answer these 5 questions. Where, who, what, why, and when. So obviously where, location, site parameters, urban or rural. Site parameters, basically, there are municipal bylaws with every site. So we do a little bit of research, figure out what's allowed, what isn't allowed. And then who, so is it residential, or commercial, or municipal, like parks? Obviously that's going to define what can be built there and why. And that leads you to what? Is it a new build, or is it a renovation, or a repair? Obviously we do everything. You're not supposed to use that word in business, that we do everything and anything, but the truth is, it's a wide range. And why is very important. Is it space, efficiency, safety, or just aesthetics? Or is it broken down, needs to be repaired? Is it structural? Safety is a big one. I've mentioned that earlier on when I started out with BNI, a few weeks in a row, wheelchair access. It's big now with businesses. They're being forced to increase accessibility to their building, and that is the safety factor there. And when? Of course, ASAP is never ideal, but it does happen on an ongoing basis. It's a 2 to 5 year plan. So that's where we want to be, right there. A consultant should be brought in as early as 5 years ahead of time. Yes, Brian?
With a 2 to 5 year plan, what if the building code changes?
Well, first of all, I can tell you that the building code doesn't change that fast.
Okay.
It feels like it does,
Okay.
because since 2006, they've implemented quite a few changes proactively every year. See, the changes that are happening that we're feeling today actually were written in 2006. And it says in the code it will come into effect January 1st, 2007, 2009, 2010, 2015. But we've known about it since 06.
Okay.
So therefore, you know, if your consultant is doing his job, he's looking ahead, okay? And that is, that's really important, actually. Some of the businesses that come to me think that they're doing this because it's new. Well, it's not new. We've known about it since 06. The ASAP, that's doable, but again, you're going to have to build a trust relationship right off the get-go, because there will be a lot of design on the go. Every idea, it takes time to formulate in your mind. And I try to work with clients to get that idea on paper so everybody can understand it. But it does take time. It does take 2 to 6 weeks to really understand, everybody understand what each other are doing. So at least 6 weeks out, you should be calling consultants. So through definition, we discover the need. What are you doing for time?
Probably
Oh, boy.
a couple minutes.
Okay, sorry about that. So
okay.
we discover the needs. Obviously, that definition tells you about the site, and you can develop a plan for that. And the occupants will tell you about, like the code requires, and the efficiency, and the safety, the accessibility. Maybe this building is meant for wheelchair access for everybody. The opportunities become known. The new and improved use of space, if there's an addition, maybe your in-laws are moving in, that type of thing. Those are all opportunities.
Easy.
Well, it's a reality. They've changed the bylaws to make it easier to have in-law suites now. Multiple family homes is becoming a real thing.
Commonplace.
Very commonplace. Outline. So the key elements are addressed, form and function are defined, and the discovery leads to a solid framework for design. So as I said before, we try to give a clear set of how we get to the final product. And when you follow this process, you end up with your final product. So here we are, the process. If you plan to succeed, you must first succeed to plan. Number one, the consultational meeting. Like I mentioned before, site review, some research. Number two, we sit down again and I show the concept drawing. The 3D model is usually shared on my YouTube channel. And we review that to see if it reflects the consultation meeting. Number three, we draft plans. Review them to comply with the design needs. So make sure at the draft point that it actually is addressing the needs that we've discovered. And number four, the final meeting to review and complete set of plans. And the permit process has begun. It's hard to believe sometimes when you listen to people talk about their previous experience with consultants that this can be done in 4 steps, but it really can. We've been doing this full-time now since last November. I'm on my 17th project this year, and we've followed through on these 4 steps, and my typical process is closing in 41 days. From the day I meet them to the permit starts, 41 days. So a design in somebody's head can be on paper in a short period of time if you follow these steps. And that's our business plan, basically. Architecture is when form and function combine to fill a direct need or desire. This is what every architect should be doing, right here. Bringing together everybody's ideas to a place where it'll actually work. I hope I didn't just speed talk, but anyhow, this is just an example. I tried to share that with you this morning, some examples of our work. It's not one plan, it's actually 3 different ones. And this is the main floor of the building that's in the perspective.